It's the 2 Minute Hacks podcast with your hosts with the most, Tony and Lavelle, every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We also have Queen Watkins with Clock That He. Tune in with us and have a great time. Let's talk about it right here. 2 Minute Hacks podcast.
Top of the morning to you, my good people. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's your host with the most, Tony Mays, Lavelle Salter, and our special guest for the week, Mr. Marcus Young.
Yes, sir.
Real estate extraordinaire. Real estate extraordinaire. Hey, man, look, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, as Mr. Rogers would say, man. Look, and I tell y'all, today, we got another doozy, man, and leading the charge on that doozy, because I'm gonna throw him under the bus today, since he came up with it.
Ooh.
Yeah, he came up with this, and I was like, bro, that's gonna be interesting. I was actually sharing this with Monica, and I said, this is a topic your cousin said, and she was like, ooh wee. She said, boy, y'all might touch some nerves with that one. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting today. Just to kind of see where this goes, how it goes. Now, and this is another one of those ones, Marcus, where I really wish that we could have brought a woman on to get a woman's perspective. Because we do have, as it relates to this, we have our own perspective a lot of times, because men, we respond a lot of times differently. Especially when you talk about infidelity and all that stuff. But I'm gonna let you start off and lead the charge, man, and then we'll just jump in as we did too, man, because let me go and ask the question. The question is how do you get past infidelity?
I think you're breaking up a little bit.
I always start off by trying to answer these a little bit first, and just kind of give my thoughts.
You might want to repeat that because you broke up.
Well, it's let me put it on the screen.
Okay.
So now it's on. How do you get past infidelity? Is it worse if a woman commits infidelity? And if you choose to forgive, will it ever be the same? So,
when we go with it,
I'm trying to see how, let's see. Okay. So I don't know if you necessarily ever get past infidelity, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm speaking from a man's or woman's perspective. I don't think, like, when your partner commits infidelity, I don't think you ever get past it. And for some reason, it's gonna always be in the back of your cause there are such things as triggers. So say you was watching Bananas at the time you found out your partner was cheating or had an affair or whatever. And y'all worked through it. Cool. Y'all think y'all to move past one night, you watching Bonanza. Bonanza comes on. What you think gonna happen, bro? You gonna automatically think, man, I was watching Bonanza when she came in and told me she didn't got down with a dude in the back of the car at the park, man.
Or
So
some
I think,
Bonanza.
yeah. So I think I don't think you ever get past it, right? Which will which is kind of answer the B part of that. If you choose to forgive, will it ever be the same? I just, I mean, it can be. I don't think it can ever go back and be the same as the relationship was before. But I think you can move past it.
Now,
I really do think you can move past it. Well, your first question was, how do you get past it? I don't think you ever get totally past it. You can deal with it. I'm gonna put it that way. I think you can deal with it if y'all have kind of reconciled, forgiven, all that kind of stuff. Now, I say that middle part of that for last. Is it worse if a woman commits infidelity? I'm gonna say absolutely. The reason being, we wired different. We can have an affair and it means absolutely nothing. We can go out there and click and get it popping and it not mean a thing to us. But women are emotional creatures, and most women, not all women, most women act on emotions, and they ain't gonna just lay down with a dude just be lay down for the most part. It's some feelings involved. So that's why I believe it's worse when women do it as opposed to when men do it. It could be deep for a man when a woman do it, bro. I done seen men commit suicide. Like they or they'll turn around and kill the woman and they say, like, I ain't gonna get you. He ain't gonna get you either.
You see that a lot on the news.
Good morning. You can't get past it. He said you can get past it. I said, I don't know about necessarily getting past it. I think you can live with it. It depends on the individuals. Yeah, man. Because like I said, if you a man and your woman cheat, boy, because you know she probably cheated with the dude. He been already flirting with her at work or flirting at the gym or whatever, and the delivery guy flirting with her, and she done finally gave in, and so he kind of cute anyway, and boom, 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 boom. It's different. We can see it smash and not think about that woman the next day. So that's my take on it.
Okay.
And I'm curious because you brought this. I'm curious to hear what you have to say. So,
okay.
Marcus, I yield the floor to you, sir.
I appreciate that. Thank you, my brother, my cousin. And you know what? I know we've been dealing with intimacy. I just want to first say that, first of all. And then, too, I want to say, too, thank y'all for having me again. I've been enjoying myself on this podcast. And, you know, you guys been having some great topics. And I appreciate you allowing me to throw a topic out there. Just something to kind of stir up that intimacy thought process. Because intimacy, this is really showing you exactly how important to have that intimacy. And like Lavelle say, intimacy. So it's just important how to emphasize how important it is for both parties to have that closeness to keep things outside of your relationship from happening. So dealing with the intimacy, I felt like this kind of still touched on that topic a little bit. But this is like, okay, what if your intimacy was lost? Okay, next step. You know, something happens because of that, because there's always a reason behind everything. You know, Yeah, you just don't jump into certain situations just for the
Right.
fun of it. Most people don't.
Right.
Some people just out there. So, but with that said, man, I agree. I feel like if certain things happen, it's because of something missing. And
Right.
I feel like women, I agree 100%. I feel like it is completely different. I think women use both sides of their brains. so when situations happen, it's multiple thoughts been thought about, process been played out, and
Right.
I saw this video online where it says that when women do certain things, it's different from when men do certain things. When women do certain things, it's usually because they exiting already. And when men do certain things, it's because something was missing, or it's just something that they do. They don't necessarily be thinking about it over and over.
Right. Right. It could be a spontaneous last. I mean, like that's how we are wired different. A woman with any kind of class and pizzazz ain't gonna really jump out there just to sleep with a dude, just to sleep with a dude. It's he been coming to her, he been saying little stuff, and then she thinking about her relationship, her marriage or her relationship. She like, no, but he ain't been showing me. Then here go Joe Blow. So it's a well thought out process most of the time. And so I think that's why I cut me in so deep, because we know that Joker being and thought about that and then played and probably planned it to the point where, like, you she in the back of your head. Because if you find out about it and you start asking her, she gonna tell you the story. Yeah, he's come in my job delivering all the time, and he was always trying to talk. And I said, no, I kept turning him down. But then you went out and you wasn't showing me no tell, whatever. And then you sitting there like, oh, I know she was involved in this, cause she even thought this whole and planned this whole process out.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You
sir.
see what I'm saying? So, and that's why I think it cuts a lot more deeper with men than women. Women be hurt, yeah, because they're emotional. They're gonna be hurt. But I think a lot of times, we come with all that gift of gab, and we just, we talk a good game, and we they okay, don't do it no more, And I ain't saying y'all soft like that, women. I mean, y'all are, but I'm not saying yeah, some men do. Because I'd be lying if I said some men didn't play on that. They do. They play on that. They play on the fact that they know they gon' go get back in the baby. That was just, hey, she ain't mean nothing to me and blah blah blah. And then you'll be like, okay, And
But
then
you know
some women
what?
be like, no. There are some women that's gonna stick to their guns and say, nope,
But
I've never done this to you. And no, and then some women say, I'm gonna stick with you, but I'm gonna get that get back.
that's scary.
That get back, bro, is that whoo.
And that get back can mean a whole lot of stuff. It could be tick for tack, or it could be you owe me, and you're gonna be constantly trying to figure that part out for the rest of the relationship. All right,
Bro,
Mr. Altus.
bro, I'll never forget this, bro. I'll never forget this. I had just turned 18. I was riding around getting it. And I ran across this lady. And this lady was you could tell she was an older lady, man, but she was nice. And I just pulled up, started talking. She said, man, you too young for me. I was like, man, I hit her with the age ain't nothing but the number, blah, 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 right? And she had a friend with her, right? And I heard them kind of say something, but like I didn't really hear it, but I heard the friends. It was kind of like Well, he did it to you or something, something to that effect. But I heard it, but it wasn't like clear. And so the woman's like, well, give me your number and I call you. So I gave her my number. About a little later on, she called me and she said, hey, I got a room over here, blah, blah, blah. But it was way, because I wasn't used to driving way out east and all that stuff, because I ain't drive like that, But man, she's like, I got a room, blah, blah, blah. I was like, shit, my guy. I'm trying to be transparent. I'm trying to help y'all. So don't try to hold it against me. I went out there and met that woman, bro. And the woman didn't say, like, when I came to the door, she already had a robe on, like a little silk robe with nothing on under at a hotel. Like, so she was dead. And it was crazy because she pulled me in the room, bro, and she dropped straight to her knees. Straight to her knees, boom, 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 boom. Took care of business. And then I don't know if she thought about it or what happened. But when it was actual time for to get busy, she was like, nah, I'm good. Then I said, so you just gonna leave me hanging like that? She said, oh, I feel like I done got him back for that. But he did.
Wow.
Bro, I was used as some get back. And that's when I really realized how ruthless women could be. And she, to be honest with you, she probably really didn't want to do it if it wasn't for that friend egging her on from the get-go. And that friend helped her think, yeah, girl, he did, blah, 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 he did it again. And she was like, oh, I'm going to get him back. And she probably had all intentions because she was, or maybe that was just to turn me on. I don't know. But after she did that, I think a light bulb clicked on. She was like, "Nah, I can't go through with that part of it." And she was like, I got him back." I was sitting there like, "So this it?" Like, I mean, I appreciate it, but so that's what I said, bro. It gonna cut a lot different, bro, when a woman do it. And so, what if that woman went home and told the man? What if she went home and told her husband, because I assume it was her husband, because she had a ring on, so I assume it was her husband. What if she went home and told him, I got you back. I went and I gave you dude fellatio, That man finna be what? I mean, can you? That's the thoughts that's going through his head.
Hey, they say women sometimes are emotional creatures, and sometimes we deal with them as unto the weaker vessel. But in a lot of ways, women way stronger than men when it comes to this area. Women are some. I can't put everybody. I can't be dogmatic about say everyone, but women are a lot stronger than men when it comes to forgiving in this area. But when it comes to men, dealing with something like that, I look at it in a whole bunch of different ways. I look at it, and I know a lot of women are going to disagree with me, whatnot, but I look at it even on the biological, the physical aspects of it. Your body, dealing with your body. You know what I mean? And we go back and forth. I even had the discussion with my wife about it. She don't necessarily agree with me. She says it's the same. But I was like, men don't be penetrated. Women be penetrated. So physically, your anatomy can change just off of that. She looked at me like, yeah, okay, yeah, whatever. But I was like, but physically, you can change. Your body can change A man's body is not one that's being penetrated, and it's different. You know what I mean? And it's just,
bro, I'll tell you, most men cannot handle the thought of their woman sleeping with another man, bro.
At all.
Like I don't care. A man can cheat 20 times and the woman know, and then she go out there and cheat one time. That one time will sit him right over the edge. I'm telling you. Lucas said, I've seen a couple of celebrities over 60 years of marriage. No, I've seen a couple celebrate over 60 years of marriage and a child outside of the marriage. Yeah. And I'm not saying that y'all don't forgive, but it ain't no I forgive and forget. You know, because in the back of your mind, it's always it depends on how much you committed to that union. Very better or worse and more than words. I'm telling you, bro. Like, I don't care. If you cheat on that woman, she might forgive you, but she ain't gonna forget. Cause them triggers, bro. At some point, them triggers bring it back. You know, Mel said, "Woo, child, not to get back, walking on eggshells, wanting, oh Lord, man, they get back."
Yeah.
Not my. What up, son? Where you been, boy? So that video you got, Lavelle, I think Lavelle then keyed it up. Can you play that video, Lavelle? Let's see what it's talking about. Lavelle, quiet this moment.
Is that women cheat to leave, men cheat to stay. I know that sounds crazy, but most men, when they're cheating, they have no intentions of leaving the person they're actually with. Whereas when a woman cheats, there's intention behind it. She is open for business. She is looking for something else. She is willing to risk what she's in order to see what else is out there. Because whoever she's cheating with is presenting her something that she's not getting in her relationship. So again, it's not perfect. There's women that cheat and they have no intention of leaving the person that they're with. And there's men that cheat and they do have intentions of leaving the person that they're with. But most of the time, women are cheating to leave.
My bad. I hear that mistake.
Leaving. They trying to stay. That's the difference.
So it was a short video. And I definitely understand exactly what she's saying. Because we played a video one time where this woman said, now this guy her husband had never done anything wrong, cheated, nothing. But just because her mama told her, always have your money stacked up, stack your money up, have you a plan B. Why would you need a plan? Like you going into the relationship expecting issues. Like she already got her go bag. She already got her, and then this woman wasn't even working, right? She wasn't even working. So all the money that the dude was bringing in, she was paying bills and stacking money for herself to the side. What? How much was it that she had put to the side of Lavelle? Like 40, 50,000. Yeah, about 40, 50 grand. And then they ran on fed on hard times. And she got the money to help out. And she was like, no, that's my to-go money. And the husband found out about it. That was her hey something happen money to their relationship.
I heard a situation like that. And this person called it the FU money. I've heard a lady call it that.
The FU money.
FU money, meaning that if you mess up, I got this over here set up.
Wow.
They be thinking like that. That's great. You know, they be having mindsets.
Lucas said, quite honestly, it's different when it's women, but I've seen one survive and it's 40 years strong. Yeah, it can work. It can work. But all I'm saying is, don't think for 1 second that those moments of infidelity were just solely forgotten. Like I washed under the bridge and now, and y'all might go on and live happily ever after, but I guarantee you, it's in the back of their head. Lastly, most marriages are conditional, seriously conditional. Man, what? This is the part that we talked about once before. All the planning goes into the wedding day and no plans for the marriage.
Yep.
We'll spend $100,000 and a year of planning the marriage, the wedding, but nothing goes into the marriage.
You know, this is exactly. But you know, this is a topic too, fellas, is that everybody done dealt with. You know, even if it ain't on a marriage level, it could be on the relationship level. You dealt with somebody and somebody's been cheated on at one point in time, or you've experienced, or if you was the one that's cheating,
right?
You did that, or if you've been cheated on. I actually, you know, early on, I had both of those experiences early on. I was out here doing my own thing, hurting, breaking hearts and all that kind of stuff. And then I had it done to me. And man, I was messed up. I was messed up in the head for a minute. I couldn't believe it happened. I'm like, what? And
wow.
I think I shared it in the last episode. Like, it was this lady I was dating that had a child with her father. You know, we was together. I was all in. And then I look over, and you know, it's crazy. And I'll be transparent with this. I actually had little stuff going on the side, but she was my girl. You know what I'm saying? Right. But then she would have her baby's father come. She lived with her parents. And I was probably around about 20, 21. She lived with her parents, and our baby's father had a good relationship with the parents, and he would stay in their house with the parents. And I used to did not like it. I was like, he could go get a hotel or something. You know what I'm saying? When I look back at it, I can't even believe I was having the conversations about it. I should have been just like this. But at the time, I was all in.
Yeah.
He be in his room, I be in mine. He's here for the child. He lives out of town.
Oh no.
And I was like,
you pay for that?
Man, I was trying my best to believe it. Hey, Tony, how you spell sprung? I was all in, bro. And then later on, man, I started to kind of put pieces together. You know, I did something crazy too, and I put this out there. I had a partner of mine, and you know, your partner trying to tell you what to do and tell you, man, you tripping, bro. I was like, he trying to speak it, but it's like, all right, man, I hear you. But I'm still like, man, she telling me the truth. And
Hey, look what Mel called you. Mel said you was sprung.
I was, Mel. I was mad. I was gone. And then come to find out, man, she was sleeping with this dude, you know, still. And I was crushed, man. I was crushed. And of course, I had to chop that off. But you know what? I didn't find that out till, you know, the Lord started dealing with me. I started getting into the church and things like that.
Right.
And I started, at that point in my life, I was telling the truth about everything. And I even told this individual, I was been with other people, I said, we're going to go forward. We need to do things right. And then she started to confess. And I'm like, what? I couldn't deal with that. When she started to confess.
It was cool when you was doing it. See, it was cool when you was doing it.
Yeah.
But soon as you started to share, and then she started sharing, you couldn't take it.
No. And check this out, though. It's not like it's a different situation a little bit, because it ain't like we ain't got to deal with that person no more. That's the baby's father. You know what I'm saying? So it was like there's an attachment there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you know you with me, and I can't say that, okay, this person gone. Not to say that even if he was gone, that I was going to stick around. But just the fact that I know he's going to always be there, it's going to be always in the back of my head. And I'm going to be able to deal with that.
That was kind of like almost like what Quita was talking about, yesterday when she talked about the guy saying he's going to take his baby mama and the baby on a trip, and he married to somebody else, but he told me they finna go on vacation.
Man,
What?
you lost your mind.
And they got the same room. They ain't even get different rooms.
Man,
You know, no, bro, like that don't fly, bro.
At all.
Mel says, life lessons, y'all, which brings growth. We all have a story, or a testimony. Yeah. And I think, like, you know, and that's why, like, I try to be as transparent as I can on this show, because I know that there are people still dealing with these issues that we talk about daily, or people still dealing with it. And some people don't know how to deal, don't know how to come out of it. And it really just depends on who you dealing with, bro. Because some people, man, are like you said, that, you know, some women can be, or men can be more forgiving than others, and then some just like, nope, it's a watch, you know. And I think, as Fluka said, it depends on the relationship, the connection that y'all have. You know, I'm a firm believer that people make mistakes, but hell, you shouldn't make the same mistake over and over again. You know, you make the one mistake. So this I'm gonna tell you something I did. So, because I made mistakes, but what I learned how to do was quit putting myself in situations where I can make mistakes. Because if I know that me going to the club gonna cause me to make mistakes, quit taking your ass to the club. If I know that me hanging out at the park, just hanging out at the park by myself, and I'm just throwing out random stuff, quit hanging your out at the park. Unless you with her, your woman.
Yeah, you go further than that.
Yes. So you got to take yourself out of the situation that you know that's gonna cause you to stumble and fall. And because you got some people out there that they know your situation and they know your vulnerability and know how far you will go, and they'll try you.
Yep. Hey, take it even further. If you know that watching things on social media triggers thoughts, you know, social media full of females showing whatever they want to show. Yeah. Even if you look at, it's been times I've been looking at a sports event, like I was looking at Indiana versus New York. They went in overtime. That guy was doing this, the choke move to Spike Lee. So I'm over all into it. But as soon as you swipe that, the next one is somebody dancing. You know what I'm saying?
Twerking, throwing, half naked, you know, they on there. Yeah, it's like I can't even scroll through my Instagram page. Every other picture is somebody half naked, half showing a back shot. I'm like, is that so? Like, I've been really close, like, to just cutting off Instagram, because I'm like, damn, that's all I see. That's all you see on there. But let me see what my baby got to say. She said, this is why both parties should be intentional about how they are treating and loving their partner. Don't let Joe Blow be the one to always tell your woman how beautiful she is. Don't let Sally Sue tell your man how sexy and handsome he is, etc. Then feelings, both should feel loved, adored, and necessary at all times. If something is longed for from one or the other, you may be the one to fill in the gap.
You be the one. Yeah.
Yeah, you be the one to fill in the gap.
Yeah. I agree, cuz.
Hey, you can't get no better than that.
Yeah, like, with that Instagram piece, my pastor used to say, my old pastor used to say something. He said that first look is okay. That second look, if you get to looking a little too long, that's when stuff started to happen.
But it irritates me sometimes. It irritates me, like, I can't even use the app to highlight or showcase business or see, you know, it's because it's all of that. It's like they said, they said that the devil don't know your thoughts, you tell him your thoughts. by the way you react to stuff, right? So if I know you like women with big butts, big breasts, That's all I'm gonna put in front of you. But I ain't gonna know that unless you see one of you. Woo, man, God, dog. Woo. So now I got you. So I'm gonna put. That's all I'm gonna run in front of you.
Mm-hmm. It's like seeds, hoping
Yeah.
one on grow.
Marcus said back shots have gotten really ridiculous. I'm starting to think that's all we got to offer now. Geez. Yeah. I'm telling like it's like the back shots, or it's they got these things that they might even be dressed nice, they have a shape, but it's a video of them walking away. And you can tell it's staged because it's like, okay, start walking now. Then they just start walking all hard. And you like, like, is this all that's out here?
I don't get it either, because and then people post stuff like that and then get mad if they DM is flooded by men talking about you look beautiful. They was like, is it just me, my looks? I'm like, oh, that's all you displaying and marketing.
Well, let me tell you this though. Let me tell you this. They respond to DMs. But they checking out the profiles first, trying to see if you might have it before they respond, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was watching a show, and the guy said, all men don't cheat. So the woman was like, all men cheat. He said, no, all men don't cheat. He said, he asked one lady, he said, every relationship I've been in, the man has cheated. Every relationship. And then he asked another lady. She said, every relationship, the man has cheated. He said, have y'all ever thought about this? It ain't that all men cheat. It's just the men that you're choosing are the ones that cheat.
Mm-hmm.
He said, she said, well, nah. He said, there are men in y'all DMs right now that's telling y'all they local dudes, there's regular dudes, there's regular jobs. Hey, beautiful. Hey, I would love to take you on a date, but you don't want them dudes because they simps to you.
Mm-hmm.
So you want the dude that's got the money, that's flash, or the dude that just, got the 6-pack abs and, that just he hitting every girl that come along. But that's who you want. Mm-hmm. And what comes along with that is a cheating dude.
Mm-hmm. So
it's not all men cheat, it's all the men that you're choosing to be with are cheating.
Mm-hmm.
That man, the woman, look, the woman dropped her mouth wide open like.
Sure. They used to hearing they're beautiful from most men, but if another man get on there and say, okay, the dress is okay, you could probably do a little better. Now all of a sudden he get the intention. You know what I mean? Or something like that. So it's interesting. It's interesting.
Lavelle, you are pretty quiet this morning.
Yeah.
I'm just listening, bro.
No, we don't need you to listen. We need you to participate.
When I feel like I'm gonna jump in, I will. I promise I will.
I feel like Lavelle over there researching.
I was concerned because the internet or something been glitching, like you've been going in and out. So I was trying to see, was it me, you, or whatever. So I've been going back and forth to see if it's actually.
It ain't been going out on my end.
He been clear on my side.
Yeah, so it probably was yours. Yeah, because I did see you went fuzzy for a minute.
Okay, I didn't know what happened. My internet and stuff is up, but you froze. Marcus froze.
Oh no, we was here talking. Yeah, you went a little fuzzy for a minute, then you got up, did something, walked back, and it's been clear since then.
You look good now.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's I really think it depends on like who you are involved. And then I'm gonna tell you too, man. Like I think sometimes when I guess I can't speak for all men, but I do believe that when as it relates to men, that sometimes cheating has to do with growth, personal growth. Like you still got that young mindset, young mentality. You haven't grown, you haven't fully, and you haven't really fully understood or figured out what you really have in the person that you with that's causing you to still go out there and mess with other people. So I don't think that a lot of time it's by design that like I just think that we just young, young, what they say, young, dumb and full of, we young, dumb, full of, and we just out there just wild. And then when you start to grow and you start to, but sometimes that growth comes it comes with a price, because you waited too late to grow, and this woman saying, I done checked out. It's too late. I'm gone. Mm-hmm. That's why you see sometimes people move on in relationships, and then years later they come back and revisit, because that woman still loved that man, but because she couldn't put up with his stuff, now he's grown and matured and he's different. They back together. You like, now he did it to her the first time, she back with him, because he's a different person now, or she's a different person now.
You hear about Sinbad? Remember Sinbad, the comedian? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He separated from his wife for some years, and then they came back together. And Sinbad comical with the way he say stuff. He goes, he said, I know you're crazy. You know my crazy. I said, I don't know these people out here crazy.
Right.
And they came back, and it was like, we more compatible than we thought we were.
Yeah. And, I've seen it a lot. I've seen a lot of people do it. And sometimes I be wondering, like, is it like, is it by design that way? Like, because they always say that everybody has a soulmate. So, but I do believe timing is everything. Craig was on the show one time, well, not on the show, but he was coming, and Craig said that he believes that a lot of times when people meet, like if I meet you for the first time and it's out the grocery store, you might have so much going on that it ain't bad timing, right? But then I see you a year later, and now stuff that kind of worked out for you, and you like, boom, but you showing me a different kind of interest. I was like, man, you ain't really show me interest back then. It was bad timing. I had too much other stuff going on. So I think relationships can be the same way. Me and you together, but it's just bad timing. Like, cause I'm immature, you immature. But then we grow, we go on, maybe go through a couple other relationships and realize that, man, like that person was a really good person. Maybe they grown and we could reconnect with them some kind of way, and we see the growth and maturity in them. We like, okay, this was up.
You said something before, Tony. You said women want to be men provide protection.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? You said protection, provision.
I don't know. I said a lot of stuff.
You said protection, provision, and something else.
I said a lot of
stuff. But you know what? I mean, women be looking for like people to be able to be a good provider, to be protected. They want to be protected, and they want the home protected. But sometimes they be meeting that man too, and that man ain't really got a whole lot going on, and he don't look like something that's going to be the one that's going to be able to provide for him. And then all of a sudden, this man grows and becomes successful. Then all of a sudden, the ones that done turned you down, here they come. You know what I'm saying? They want to see, okay, this man is actually doing some things. I ain't gonna try to miss out on this a second time. And then they want to come on in. And
I'm a little leery of that mindset.
Yeah.
Because we could have see, that's I talk about Monica in this aspect all the time. Like, Monica could have saw me as a dope boy and said, no, he working at a warehouse and dope boy, nope. But I really believe she saw the potential in me. And bro, like what we built over the last 33 years is incredible. You know what I'm saying? But what if she didn't believe in me that way, or never gave me the time? And there's a lot of women out there that are not giving men, like even though he may not be where you want him to be right then, you ought to at least see some potential. And with a little encouragement from you and but if you encouraging him now, and
he don't accept the encouragement because he think that your encouragement is more so you trying to push him in the direction he don't want to go in. Then he gonna fight back, and then maybe that might not be the dude for you.
Yeah.
See, what folks don't realize is that
there you go. Marcus said you ain't had your Cheerio this moment.
what folks don't realize is that everybody that you meet, especially when it comes to marriage, the vow say, and they shall become one. And when you really look at that, everybody is becoming.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't arrived. No one arrives.
Right.
There's no destination in life. You're always becoming. You should be evolving all the time.
Well, that's what we know. We talked about that if you are a person, you should be changing and growing every 3 to 4 years. And if you're the same way you was, same mindset and everything you were when you was in high school, Marcus,
something wrong.
You done missed the mark. And
you're right.
You wondering why you can't get be in a steady relationship because you still got that, like when I started, and I think I've told this story before. When I started producing music and managing like my little artists and stuff that I had, and we was make a song and we trying to get out there in the club to produce a song, I told them right then, I said, man, y'all know I've been gave up the club scene. They were like, yeah, but Tony, we got to get this song to the DJ so they can play it. Okay. We go to the club, wrap it up with the DJ, put a song. I'm looking around the club because I'm really feeling out of place. Cause we in a club.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't listening to no live music. We in the club with the young folk bumping and jumping. And I look up and I see dudes and women that was hanging out at the club when I was hanging out back in the day.
Wow.
And I'm like, bro, you still here with this China? I'm like, for real? So that's played out, bro.
Big time.
You know what I'm saying? But they still hanging out in the club like they 20, 21. You 50 years old, bro. Well, at the time, I probably was 40, 30 something, 40. I don't know. I had been out to the club a long time. You know. And I'm like, you still in the club?
To me, that's one of the saddest things you see is it was this, I remember when I was in my 20s, me and a couple of friends of mine, we had this, don't judge me, we had this group called Lifestyles. And we used to throw cabarets back in the day, parties. And we used to go out there, and all we did, we go to a place here in Detroit called Belle Isle, and we used to go ride Belle Isle and pass out flyers. And all we did was pass out flyers to all the ladies, because you invite the ladies, the guys
men gonna come. Yeah.
So we out here, man. But I remember one time with this one of my partners, we had went to this one club. It was a little older club together. Just me and him went to go check the vibe out. And we was in there, man. It was all these old brothers in there. And me and him was looking like, man, look at all these old dudes in here. It looked like they've been in there for about 40 years, man. I was like, these guys are here doing the same stuff. I said, and we used to say stuff like back then, we used to say stuff like, man, this Detroit, man, we about to take over Detroit. Because these guys doing these same tired things. But to me, man, just to touch on what you're saying, if it ain't no growth and you still doing the same stuff over and over, something wrong. But and I want to just say this one other thing too, man, because you made me thinking about it, how important for a woman to choose to see the potential in a man is. I think about what Michelle Obama said. She said something. Barack Obama and Michelle was eating at a restaurant. I don't know if y'all heard this before, but she was eating at a restaurant, and the restaurant was owned by a guy that she used to date. And he owned the restaurant. And then so Barack was over there saying, you know, with his chest out, saying, look at this. He said, if you would have married him, you would have been a woman that's married to a man that owns a restaurant. But now look how you've been blessed. And she looked at him and said, if I married him, he would have been the president of the United States.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? If I married him. So,
but guess what?
You know,
I bet you it's a lot of truth to that, man, because a lot of men who they are is attributed to the woman who they've been with. That person that been like propping them up, like the person I am, bro, is cause my wife was out there propping me up like that, like
yes.
so I recognize and realize that, and I give credit what credit is due. Cause there's a lot of time, bro, I wanted to throw in the towel, and she was like, "Nah, baby, you can do it. You got this push past that, blah blah blah." And I'd be like, "Where you get?" You know, and like she's always been like a person that encouraged, but like when I was younger, Monica would be the person that always be worried about stuff. Like I never really worried about finances and stuff. Monica be over there, I don't know how we're gonna do that. I said, baby, I'm Jehovah Jireh, God gonna provide. That's how I used to be. I ain't worried about it. And we never lacked really for anything. You know, we didn't have everything, but we didn't lack either. And she'd be like, how can you be so calm? But I'd be like, I ain't worried about it. Hey, you can't cry about spilled milk. You can't cry about something you ain't never had. You know what I'm saying? And as I got older and different situations arose, and I wanted to be like, man, F it, punch it in the face. And she was like, nah, baby, it's gonna be, blah, blah, blah. Like the tides turn. And I'm like, when did you become this person? And I came, So, it's that growth, bro, the maturity. When I wanted to like come at it, woofed up, she was like, it just need give it a little love, babe. Show it a little love. And I'm like, so like she evened me. I tell people all the time, she evened me out, bro. When it was times I wanted to spaz out, she was that calming voice that brought me on back in. So and that boy been a lot of times I wanted to spaz out, bro. Like I probably been dead or in jail. Seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. I know we all married, so I know we all got somebody. I know my wife, man, I gotta say, I come up with all kinds of business ideas, some of them crazy, some of them off, but I was always trying to do something.
Right.
Every business idea, she was like, you think that's a good idea? Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? She always had my back on that. Some of them failed. A lot of them failed. But then some of them hit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, and I think that's where you and I have a lot in common. Like I've always been like, let's do this, let's do that. And she never once said, now I'm gonna tell you what she do now, though. Like when we were younger, she would just roll with it. Okay. But now what she do is say, how does that look? She asked those really important questions. Well, what does that really look like? So when I was talking about the vending machines, I said, babe, we can get these vending machines, blah, blah, blah. She like, so what does that really look like? So where we put them at? What kind of money do vending machines? So I'd already done my little research. I said, well, this depends on where you put them. Vending machines do this, you do that. And then we had this kind, and then she was like, okay, well, let's do it, But now she's in that phase of, does it make sense? Cause me, I had ideas all the time for stuff. But with her is, do it make sense? Can we financially sustain it? Even if the machines ain't doing nothing, can we, and that's what you need. You need somebody that's gonna ask those questions, some of those hard questions that you may not think about. And that's why I said we balance each other out. Because even if she brings something or something I may bring up, and she will, oh yeah, I didn't even think about that aspect of it. So when you got multiple views about something, and it's cool that y'all might not necessarily agree all the time, but at least hear the ideas and support and try to say, well, maybe we can do that, but maybe not that way. Let's do it that way. And so I think it's important how we look at stuff, and that we have somebody in our lives, our corner, to help balance us out. When we want to go left, they pull us on back right. When we want to go too far right, they pull us on back left to keep us centered. And I think that's what
the Bible says you need a helpmeet, not a helpmate.
Yeah. You got to have somebody to help you out.
That's facts.
Yeah. This is good, man, because, and I think we not necessarily strayed away from the topic a little bit, because I think tomorrow when we close, we can kind of close this out tomorrow and really talk more about, And I wish, look, if we got a woman out there that want to come on and share your thoughts about infidelity, we would love to have you on, because I definitely want a woman's perspective for this, because I just feel like if men go out there and cheat, it's different in most cases. But there are some times now, don't get me wrong, there are some times when men have had enough and say, and they're cheating to move on.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that like they like, I don't care if she do catch me, because this person right here, I like her better than her anyway. You know, so they don't really care. But I think at that point, the relationship is lost anyway. Whether the woman has tapped out all the way or the man has tapped out, you know, y'all both just waiting on somebody that's come out and just say it. So what you want to do? You know, y'all both holding on to air, and she over there saying I ain't happy, he's saying I ain't happy. Well, what you want to do? Nobody's saying what you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna yield the
So
floor to Lavelle Salter. I like hearing him speak. I yield the floor. I want to hear what he closes out with.
yeah, go on, clock that tea. Then we might have something to close on with that tea.
It's a trip. Watch this.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Y'all know what time it is. Put them phones down, fingers up. It's time to clock that tip with your girl, Queen Watkins. I hope y'all having an amazing morning. But y'all know what time it is. It's time to get messy. It's time to clock that tea. Have y'all seen the story of the married couple where the wife ruined her life for cheating on her husband? Yeah, let's talk about it. So there is a lady that was married. I was Pam. She was married to her husband for a while. Yeah, they had 4 kids. So she went to work, and there was a new guy that came to work. His name was Brian, and she seen him as very handsome. So they began to talk and began to. Now Brian is married as well. Once they got a chance to learn each other, she figured out Brian was married as well. So they started to mess around, of course. They would tell their spouses they had to work late, but they was really doing the boom bam, you know what I'm saying, with each other and hanging out with each other, chilling with each other, whatever. So boom, she ended up falling for this man. And she asked him, she said, will you leave your wife for me? And old boy was like, yes, of course, I will. So they continued on to mess around, do them, and boom, Pam ended up getting pregnant. Now, when she got pregnant, she went to her husband and said, you know what, I'm pregnant by another man. I love him. I'm going to be with him. So she left her husband. Her husband began to go through hell. Like he started doing drugs and things of that nature. And his family just thought like he wasn't going to make it for real, because I guess he was so hurt because of the situation. I mean, damn, y'all got 4 kids. Y'all was together for a minute. Why would you? Let's continue. So she left her husband, even though her husband was saying, we can work this out. Let's work this out. Let's figure this out. She didn't want to. She wanted Brian. Brian got her mind gone. Do you hear me? So when the first baby came, Brian did not leave his wife. He just told Pam, hey, I'm going to let her, like she knows about the baby or whatever, but I have a few more things that I need to do. Then I'll divorce her. So Pam all in love, and she, okay, cool. They continue to mess up. Then boom, here come baby number 2. But they must didn't have condoms. Pull-out game was horrible at that time. I don't know. Because what? Girl, you already got 5. You letting this man put another one in you, and he not even really with you? Okay, let's continue. So baby number 2 come. He's still married. He's still, I'm going to tell my wife. So at this point, Pam got sick Gooby, okay? And Pam gave him an ultimatum and said, if you don't tell your wife, you're not going to see your kids. And oh boy loved his kids, right? He did what he needed to do for his children. He loved his children. So of course he didn't want Pam to take his kids away from him. But she in a situation to where I left my husband of so many years with 4 kids for you, basically, and you playing in my face. So that's what she told him. So she ended up going to work. They still worked at the same place. Brian came to the job, and y'all, he stood at her desk in front of her and shot himself in the chest. Right? Just boom, gone. She had to watch the man that she was in love with die in front of her. So after she's seen that, of course, that's going to probably mentally mess somebody up. After she seen that their children had to fend for themselves because she began to be on drugs, she began to let herself go, and life just wasn't what it was for her anymore. That's insane. What they say, you reap what you sow. That's all the tea that I have for today. Y'all make sure y'all tune in to 2 Men in Hats, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. sharp. And don't forget to stay tuned for your girl, Queen Watkins, Clock That Tea. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye.
Crazy.
So,
Only just talked about that.
4 people's lives were ruined, plus the children.
Yep.
Plus the children, because of a work affair that turned deadly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like literally turned deadly.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I'm talking about, man. Like, we have to really be careful, man. Like, when you at work, when you working with people, and you getting too overly comfortable, too friendly, and you start referring to people as baby, like and sugar and love, my love, and all that stuff. Them terms of endearment should be reserved for, and I got a bad habit of calling people baby. And even though my babies is like yeah, it ain't nowhere like that, but it's like baby, I don't do that, baby, stuff. Yeah, but you do have to be mindful of that, man, because that can be misconstrued, or some people can take it the wrong way. I've seen people, because I'm in HR, I've seen people come and complain on the next person because terms of endearment being used, and they like, I told that person, don't refer to me as they call me by my name, or call me Miss so and so, but don't call me baby, don't call me love, don't call, how some people, yeah, love, and they get offended by it,
Mm-hmm.
and so then I gotta have the conversation, like, you can't be using them terms of endearment with your coworker. They don't like it. They've asked you not to call them baby, girl, or love, or whatever. Call them by their name. So yeah, bro, this right here is I don't know, man. Like,
But you just said it early in the conversation, Tony, that men don't deal with that stuff the same.
yeah,
Especially when you got 100% love with that woman, is that it hits hard. It don't hit the same. And that's in the area that's why women sometimes stronger. You know what I'm saying? They can deal with things a little bit better, but sometimes men can't handle that kind of stuff.
But this the part I don't get.
I can't deal with that. I'll be like this. Be gone.
Yeah, the part I don't get, like, even with with the T segment, how do you go and have unprotected sex with a man or a woman and you married, and not have 1 child but 2 children? Like, like that part right there is like you trying to like. So what are you trying to do? Prove how much you love a person by sleeping with them unprotected? I mean, like, I don't understand the method behind the madness. Like, that makes no sense to me.
I got caught up.
Yeah, but
Mel Mac ought to come on the show.
Who?
Mel Mac.
Man, you do not want Mel Mac on the show.
I don't know her.
Mel Mac started some stuff on One Eye Show one time when we was doing the Wednesday midweek service. She started some stuff on that show that went so left field, bro. No, you don't want Mel Mac on the show.
It makes some
It
good
went to Lavelle confessing stuff.
I want to confess it, done. You just didn't understand the whole. We never did even talk about that, but anyway.
Oh my God. She said, they gonna market, don't do too much. We're gonna get that shirt made, don't do too much.
Right.
Don't do too much, babe. No, seriously, I agree. You should be careful how you deal with communicate and approach the opposite sex. This could alleviate future problems. I definitely believe that, man, because you can really stir the pot, man, if your communication is, I don't even want to say not right, but if it's too right.
Yeah. And y'all some handsome men. So you say baby to somebody, they already been checking you out. That just sparked something.
Well, I'm gonna tell you though, again, you got to learn how to take yourself out of situations that could normally end up going a different way, right?
Mm-hmm.
There have been times on plenty of jobs I've been on where the women were flirtatious, and I removed myself from the situation by whatever means necessary, whether it's like every time they say something flirt, I say, yeah, but my wife, my wife so and so, they were like, oh, he keep talking about his wife, whatever, to get you off, to throw you off, so sometimes you have to don't do too much, babe. Don't you do too much, babe. Don't do too much. She said them heifers better.
Hey, that's what grandmama used to say. That's what she used to call them heifers. I ain't heard that in a minute. That's what I grandma.
Them heifers better digress. But yeah, I'm just saying. So you have to take yourself out of the equation. But you got to be a strong dude, because if she the woman, and that's why I said the devil, bro, like sometimes we give him way too much credit, but sometimes like we show him what we like, what we want, and he put it before us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He make everything that come past you look like that. You be like, what? No. So if I know that, I ain't gonna put myself in that situation. I'm gonna try not to.
They say every new level is a new devil. And sometimes
with every level
right in front of you just to see if you pass that test.
Man, I preached that message one time. With every level, there's another devil.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So you gotta recognize, man, understand that there's some folk out here that don't want to see you happy. Well, they don't want to see you happy with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And they will, and I'm talking about men included. It's some men that'll make you break up with your man just so they can not be with you.
Yep. You got some women that they would prefer that you be married and be with you. They're like, I don't want to deal with you like that no way. I'm ready for you to come over here, holler at me, and then go back home to your wife.
Mm-hmm. But that's one of those understood type of things where the woman said, well, I know you got a wife, woman. I ain't trying to take you from it. I just want to come over here, take care of me, And then some of them be about, it's a trap. It's a trap. You gotta, yeah, that's why I said, take your stuff out of the equation. She said, we gotta stop putting everything on the devil. Lavelle used to say that all the time. We be putting too much blame on the devil. Sometimes you just need to go sit down somewhere.
You gotta have some accountability for your actions.
Yeah.
But that same woman too, Lavelle. I've heard them same women say that same thing.
Yeah.
I'm seeing on social media where if that man lay it down a certain way,
yeah,
they thoughts change real quick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's what
I was finna say too, Mark, is that it'll start off that way, and then sometimes it just be a trap, but sometimes it be a setup from the get-go where they saying, oh, I know that boom, boom, and they over there recording you, they over there taking pictures of you, they doing all this stuff and waiting on the right moment to ask you for the grip And then when you say I ain't paying you nothing, I'm gonna expose you. Matter of fact, I think there's a page on social media. I have not seen it. I just heard people talk about it, where they are exposing people that are in relationship with other people that they didn't mess with them. They exposing it in the group.
Yep, it is.
So I ain't seen the group, no, but they say that's what they out there doing. It's if your mind, he been with me. Here go a picture, go a video of him, me, yeah, all this old stuff. So that's crazy. Like that you so toxic to the point you want to catch somebody up or you want to hurt somebody in their relationship so bad that you gonna start a group to expose folks. But that's a level of toxicity, bro. That's a whole another level of toxicity right there.
When you say that,
a lot of folks that I know that I grew up with and people I know that I've been knowing for a while, their husband been in them groups, their wives been in them groups. I be like, wow.
I don't even look at them. I don't even look at them because I'm like,
some stuff just come to me. You know how to, hey, remember it being no way. But I had just recently did an event. I ain't gonna say no names, and come to find out that the person who party it was, who that person was, ended up being in their group the day before they had the event. So imagine how that had to go.
All right, well, we gotta get out of here, man. This is gonna be interesting to see how this go tomorrow. Freestyle Friday. Hey man, let me give a quick shout out, bro. I'm gonna play this next week, y'all. Man, my little baby, Aaliyah Clinton, man, is a 2025 Melrose High valedictorian. She gave her valedictorian speech last night. It was 15 minutes and 6 seconds long. Wow. But I'm gonna play excerpts from that next week. I'm gonna play excerpts from that video from her speech because it really touched on how important it is for parents to be in their children's life, bro.
Wow.
Bro, the girl had me crying. Lavelle, I was up there crying so hard in the stand. I was crying so Monk was sitting in front of me. I was crying so I said, I hope Monk don't turn around. Monk gonna turn around and video me, take a picture or something, bro. I was up there, man. I had my whole sleeve.
Wanda,
boy,
can you hit the unlock button for me, please? She outside.
Killing me. So, anywho, we gonna show some clips and snippets of it next week. Doing our podcast. But shout out to Aaliyah, man. She did an awesome job, bro. She said, bro, she said, I got all A's. She said, check my transcript.
That's it.
She got receipts. She said, I got receipts. I got all A's. From the time I got to high school, I done made all A's. Check my transcript. 4.5 GPA. Scholarship. Look, over 70 colleges offered her to come to their school. She got, yeah.
Awesome.
How much? I forgot. Was it $4.5 million in scholarship money?
4.5.
$4.5 million.
Wow.
Yeah. So shout out to my baby man Leah, man, for doing a great job, bro. Shout out. All right, let's close it out. But we've been with 13 minutes over. I'm sitting on the parking lot, about to get fired out here messing with y'all.
Mom, you can pray us out since it was your subject matter today.
Okay, I'll pray.
He got two more that we might have to deal with soon.
Y'all gonna have to pray for me.
Lord.
Father, we just come to you, Lord, in the name of Jesus, just saying thank you, God. Thank you for your goodness, your grace, and your mercy, Lord. And here we are today, God. I just want to first to say thank you for this 2 Men in a Podcast. Max said you bless Lavelle, bless Tony, Lord, bless their comings and goings, Lord. Make sure Tony don't get fired on his job. And Father, we just ask that you have your way in our lives, Lord, and touch. And Lord, we spoke on infidelity and things of that nature, Lord, but let intimacy prevail in all the relationships, God. We give you all of the glory and all of the praise. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Hey y'all, I want to throw this out there in the atmosphere too. That real soon here, the Gentleman's Round Table is coming to y'all. The Gentleman's Round Table. We gonna start up a podcast. It's gonna be 1 week, one day a week in the evening, and it's gonna be me, myself, Marcus, hopefully Ralph, Lavelle, when Lavelle can get on, and we gonna talk about everything.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
we
so
need a
it's
hand
coming.
applause, Lavelle. We need a clap.
It's coming, baby. It's coming. Yeah, he got a long applause. The Gentleman's Round Table. So y'all keep your eyes and ears on the look for that. That's gonna be coming real soon, man. We're gonna definitely share it, let y'all know when, but we're gonna be working on some stuff. So look, we'll see y'all tomorrow morning, man. Same bat time, same bat place. We want y'all to give attention with purpose and passion. We want y'all to gap it out, all right? Everything, Mayor Mac, everything. We'll see y'all tomorrow morning, man.
See y'all.
It's the 2 Minute Hats podcast with your hosts with the most, Tony and Lavelle. Every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We also have Queen Watkins with Clock Dead. Tune in with us and have a great time. Let's talk about it right here. 2 Minute Hats podcast.